kill distraction, not manage it, not reduce it, kill it. Because distraction is not a small bad habit. Distraction is a silent war against your life, and most men are losing without even realizing they are in a fight. You think distraction is entertainment. You think it is harmless. You think it is just something you do when you are tired. No. Distraction is a thief. It steals your attention first, then it steals your time, then it steals your standards, then it steals your future. And the worst part is this: it makes you feel like you are living, while it slowly drains your life away. A man becomes what he repeatedly gives his attention to. So if you give your attention to noise, you become noise. If you give your attention to comfort, you become soft. If you give your attention to cheap pleasure, you become cheap. And if you give your attention to endless distraction, you become a man who cannot hold a thought. A man who cannot hold a thought cannot build anything. Not a body, not a skill, not a mission, not a family, not a legacy. He becomes a consumer, a spectator, a man who watches other men live. Listen to me. Your attention is your life. Every minute you waste is a piece of your life you will never get back. So the question is not, how do I focus more? The question is, why are you letting thieves live in your house? Most men live in a state of constant mental leakage. They start something, then they stop. They plan, then they drift. They work, then they check. They train, then they scroll. They talk about purpose, then they disappear into noise, and they wonder why they feel weak. They wonder why they feel restless. They wonder why they feel anxious and behind. Because deep down, you know the truth. You are not tired. You are scattered. Your mind is not broken. It is undisciplined. Distraction is not just what you do, it is what you become. So I am going to give you laws, not advice. Laws. If you live by these laws, you will rebuild your focus, and when your focus returns, your power returns. Because a focused man is dangerous. A focused man is rare. A focused man wins. Law 1. Distraction is a weapon designed to make you harmless. A distracted man cannot defend his time. He cannot build momentum. He cannot endure boredom. He cannot sit in silence long enough to hear the truth about himself. So he stays busy. Not productive. Busy. Noise in, noise out. And because he is always stimulated, he is never satisfied. That is the trap. You get small hits of pleasure, and your brain learns to crave more. Then real work feels dull. Training feels heavy. Reading feels slow. Building feels painful. So you escape again. That cycle turns men into weak animals chasing treats. If you want to be a man again, you break the cycle. You stop living for stimulation. You start living for purpose. Law 2. What you do in the first hour of the day decides who you are. Most men begin the day with surrender. They wake up and instantly invite noise into their mind. They feed the beast before they feed their mission. They start the day reacting. And when you start the day reacting, you spend the whole day behind. A disciplined man does the opposite. He begins the day with command. He begins the day with silence. He begins the day with structure. Because your mind is most vulnerable when you first wake up. That is when habits carve the deepest grooves. So, if you want to kill distraction, you stop giving it the first bite of your day. The first hour belongs to the man you want to become, not the man you have been. Law 3. You do not fight distraction with willpower. You remove its supply lines. Most men try to resist temptation while keeping temptation close. That is not strength. That is stupidity. A man does not leave alcohol on the table and brag about self-control. A man removes it. He does not test himself all day. He designs the environment so the test is rare. Distraction lives on access. Easy access is the enemy. So you cut access. You remove the triggers. You clean your space. You simplify your surroundings. You stop carrying chaos in your pocket and acting surprised when your mind is chaotic. War is won by logistics. So is discipline. Law 4. Multitasking is weakness pretending to be productivity. A man who does 10 things at once does nothing well. He starts everything. He finishes nothing. He feels busy, so he feels successful. But his life does not change, because building requires depth, strength requires depth, skill requires depth, respect requires depth. You cannot build a fortress by throwing one brick in 10 different locations. You build it by stacking bricks in one place until it becomes a wall. One task, one target, one block of time. That is how focused men operate. Law 5. Boredom is not a problem. Boredom is training. This is where modern men collapse. They cannot handle boredom. They cannot sit without reaching for something. They cannot wait without stimulation. They cannot stand in silence, so they never develop the muscle of focus. But focus is a muscle, and boredom is the weight. Every time you feel the itch to escape, that is a moment to train. That is a moment to hold the line, to stay, to breathe, to endure. And every time you endure boredom without running, you rebuild control. You teach your mind, I decide. Not cravings, not impulses, not noise, me. Law 6. The cost of distraction is not time. The cost is identity. This is what you must understand. When you choose distraction instead of duty, you are not just wasting minutes. You are becoming a weaker man. Because every choice shapes you. Every small surrender trains your nervous system. It trains your standards. It trains your self-respect. So if you repeatedly choose the easy escape, you train yourself to escape when life gets hard. Then, when real pressure hits, you fold. Because you practiced folding. That is why distraction is deadly. It builds a habit of avoidance, and avoidance is the root of most male failure. Law 7. You need a daily battle plan, not a dream, not a vague intention, a plan. Weak men live by mood. Focused men live by schedule, because a schedule is a shield. When your day is planned, distraction has less room to sneak in. So, you create blocks, work blocks, training blocks, study blocks, silence blocks, and inside those blocks, you go to war. No checking, no bouncing, no drifting. You execute. A man without a plan will be owned by whatever is loudest. A man with a plan becomes loud through results. Law 8. Your phone is not the enemy. Your lack of standards is. Tools are neutral. The problem is you treat tools like masters. You obey the buzzing. You obey the urge. You obey the habit. That is not technology controlling you. That is you refusing to control yourself. So raise the standard. If a notification is not connected to your mission, it does not deserve your attention. If an app does not serve your life, it is removed. If a habit drains you, it is cut. You do not need more motivation. You need higher standards and faster consequences. Law 9. Replace consumption with creation. A distracted man consumes all day. He watches, he scrolls, he reads nonsense, he listens to noise, he fills his mind with other men's lives. Then he wonders why he has no energy. Because consumption without creation turns you into a mental landfill. You must create, write, build, train, study, work, fix something, improve something, produce value. Creation sharpens the mind. Creation forces focus. Creation gives you pride, and pride is fuel. If you want to kill distraction, you replace it with production. Law 10. The mind follows the body. If your body is lazy, your mind will be lazy. If your body is trained, your mind becomes more obedient. Because discipline is holistic, physical training teaches your brain to endure discomfort, to hold steady under strain, to do what must be done. That carries into everything else. So if you are constantly distracted, ask yourself this: when was the last time you pushed your body hard? When was the last time you did something difficult on purpose? Because men who avoid physical discomfort usually avoid mental discomfort too. They escape both. A warrior does not escape. He trains. Law 11. Your evenings are where distraction takes control of your future. Most men ruin tomorrow at night. They tell themselves they are relaxing, but they are not relaxing. They are sedating. They are numbing. They are escaping. Then they sleep late, wake heavy, and start the day behind. That cycle repeats, and years disappear. So you set an evening standard. You do not flood your mind with noise before sleep. You do not let cheap stimulation be the last thing your brain learns. You end the day like a disciplined man. You review, you plan, you calm the mind, you protect sleep. Because sleep is not rest. Sleep is recovery for war. Law 12. You will never feel ready to focus. You focus anyway. This is the final truth. Focus is not a feeling. It is an order. You sit down. You eliminate noise. You begin. And when your mind tries to run, you pull it back like a dog on a leash. Over and over. That is training. That is leadership. That is masculinity. You do not wait for the perfect state. You create the state through action. Now listen carefully. Distraction will always offer you an easier life, but it is a trap. It offers comfort now and steals power later. It offers pleasure now and steals confidence later. It offers escape now and steals peace later. Because peace does not come from running. Peace comes from control. A calm mind is built by discipline. A strong life is built by focus. And a focused man does not need to talk much. His results speak. His posture speaks. His presence speaks. Because he is not scattered. He is not frantic. He is not mentally weak. He is sharp. He is steady. He is dangerous through control. So here is what you do. You stop calling distraction normal. You call it what it is, an enemy. Then you act like a man at war. You cut the supply lines. You raise standards. You build a daily battle plan. You train boredom. You replace consumption with creation. And you keep doing it until focus becomes identity. Because once you own your attention, you own your life. And once you own your life, you are no longer a spectator. You are a builder, a protector, a leader, a man with a mission. Kill distraction and watch what happens when your power comes back.